Hey there, guys. Thor. Quick little story. I was 10 when this movie came out. I didn't care about Thor. I didn't even know what Thor was. I didn't see this movie when it came out. I saw it maybe a year or two after it came out, actually. I think I saw it like right before the Avengers came out, so yeah, like a year later. Anyways, let's get into Thor. Thor tells the story of the Norse god of thunder, only this is like the comic book version based on Marvel Comics, not the actual like mythology, even though some events in the mythology happen in the comic books. I had no idea what I was talking about there for a second. Thor tells the story of Thor. He's the god of thunder, and he's about to become king of Asgard, and then he makes a stupid decision. He doesn't use his head and think as a king, he just thinks as a warrior. He's arrogant, he's selfish, and so his father banishes him to Earth and takes away his powers. First off, I just want to say that's a great story setup. It's nothing like anything we had gotten in the MCU at that point. Because at this point we had Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2. Excuse me. So we had the origin story, we had the Hulk movie, we had the Iron Man origin story, we had the Hulk movie, and then we had the Iron Man 2, which was basically Avengers 0.5. So at this point in the MCU, we didn't have a movie like this, where it was an already established superpowered person who then loses their powers and has to earn them back. And I thought that was something really great to try out. And there are a lot of comedic opportunities in this movie because of the whole fish out of water story with Thor, because he ends up on Earth, he ends up hanging out with this group of astrophysicists in this little town in New Mexico, and he basically just has to adjust to the way that humans are. And there are a lot of fun scenes and funny moments in this movie just dealing with that. And of course you have also the stuff with Loki taking over Asgard, and then Thor trying to basically learn humility and become a noble hero. Drew a blank there for a second. Chris Hemsworth is great in this movie. This movie thrusts him into the spotlight, and he has only gotten better with time. Of course, the only things he's really been in are the Marvel movies, at least that I've seen. I know he was in the Huntsman, the Snow White and the Huntsman movies, and he was pretty good in the first one. I think he was one of the best parts of that movie. And then I honestly really enjoyed Huntsman Winter's War, and he was part of the reason that I did. The supporting human characters are fine. I wasn't a huge fan of the characters, honestly. Natalie Portman, Kat Dennings, Stellan Skarsgård. I wasn't a huge fan of them, really. But they're fine. They're funny. The supporting Asgardian characters are great. You have, again, Loki, Odin, Frigga, the Warriors 3, and Lady Sif, who are Thor's best friends. And that sounds so weird to say, but that's what they are. They're his best friends. They go on adventures together and fight together, and so, that's fun. And they're really great. Some of the best moments are just with these Warriors 3, and You know, they come down to Earth too, and that's pretty fun, honestly. I gotta address it. Tom Hiddleston as Loki steals the show. He steals the whole movie. He, in this movie, is a great character. In the Avengers, he becomes one of, if not the most iconic Marvel villains. I definitely think that he is just one of the best characters in this whole series, and I think, personally, he is my favorite Marvel villain in the MCU. If we were going by, like, the Marvel as a whole, I would probably go with Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, just because I think that is how you do the perfect villain, is Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2. But Loki is pretty great, too. I think he's the best MCU villain. And then Anthony Hopkins is actually a close second in this movie as well. He steals every scene that he's in as Odin. It just sucks that he's not in the movie very much, just because... Not only is it just because the majority of this movie is set on Earth with Thor, but also, for a majority of the movie, he's in a coma. So, yeah. But every scene that he's awake, he steals every single bit of it. I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is the most memorable Marvel movie, honestly. I don't think this is a very forgettable one. I just think this is one of those ones where it's like kind of... It's not one of the first ones you think of, but it's not the last one you think of. Like, for me, first ones I think of are like the more recent ones or the more popular ones. The Avengers, Age of Ultron, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy. Then it goes on to like Thor, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, First Avenger, Ant-Man, and then Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Thor, Dark World, Iron Man 3. Is that all of them? Forgot Avengers, Age of Ultron, I think. Oops. No, but yeah, so I think this is just a fun one. This is definitely one of my personal favorite MCU movies. Like, I love all the MCU movies. I don't think they've had a real big misstep, except maybe Iron Man 2, honestly. And maybe The Incredible Hulk, even though I think The Incredible Hulk is pretty great. I think it could have been better. But yeah, I don't think Marvel has had a real big misstep yet. That could change. I mean, we still have Thor Ragnarok coming out in November. We have Black Panther in February, Infinity War in May, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp in July. Things could go so wrong in between now and then with all of those movies. All of those movies could end up terrible. Thor Ragnarok could end up being the most convoluted and poorly executed Thor movie, or even Marvel movie. Black Panther could be like a huge misstep. Avengers Infinity War could be a huge tonal problem, and just trying too hard to cram so many characters. Everything could go wrong. But I have faith after, like, 15, 16 movies now, that Marvel knows what they're doing and will do good. Guys, I'm going to give Thor an A. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the movie, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.